Hey guys, Caller here, bringing you another audio commentary of a viewer requested video from the past, and I'm bringing you Boxer versus Joyo, played in the 2003 MyCube OSL. And evidently, this game is, well, it's one of Boxer's best games of all time, according to a description I've read about it. It's just really supposed to be very, very epic, and the fact that Boxer, well, I won't go into it any further, but anyway, so let's just watch this video, and I guess I do know what happens in general in this game. Unfortunately, for a lot of these pimp is play games, you know that you generally know what's going to happen in general, but I won't spoil it for you, and certainly I haven't watched it before, so I will be excited to see what goes on. Here is Joyo, Boxer's opponent. This is in the round of 16 of the OSL that year. Boxer, of course, spawning in red at the 7 o'clock position. Joyo spawning in teal at the 1 o'clock position. Here we're seeing a diagram of this map, Paradoxxx. The one thing to note about this is it's a very, very low resource map. Notice that there are only 4 expansions around the map. It's also an island map. It's a true island map. You have to use air units to get across those gaps in between the islands. There's basically 4 islands in the middle, and then the 2 large main bases. So I think what they're trying to draw here is that there are a lot of possibilities for drops into Boxer's base at the 7 o'clock. Now they're drawing the perimeter. I mean, it's just such a large base that there's just a lot of possibility of a hidden drop for both players, really. Boxer, of course, could bring hidden drops into Joyo's base. However, I do think Joyo will probably get his shuttles out, since that is a more natural progression of the tech tree for the Protoss player. And there's another thing about this map is there's actually 2 gas in your main base. So we're definitely going to see a 1-base strategy to start off with. Taking an expansion is just going to be pretty difficult on this map. You can drop and get the expansion, but it's just less profitable by the fact that you have so many resources in your main. I believe, wow, look how many mineral patches there are. There's 12 mineral patches and 2 gas in your main, so almost like big game hunters here inside your main. Of course, you will get mined out eventually and be forced to go for the expansions. There's 2 expansions with gas and 2 expansions with just minerals in the middle of the map. Overall, still a very low resource map, though. We're seeing both players building barracks inside their base. I'm expecting both players, of course, to go for very fast tech here. There's really no reason to build any entry-level units here on an island map. We could see possibly Boxer go for some kind of expansion also, although I think that would be risky by trying to float a command center to one of the islands. We'll have to see, though. And back then, notice that the players didn't play in booths at the time. Actually, I think still they don't for the lower level stages of the tournaments. But you know, certainly it's noticeable here, and the crowd is certainly just able to just have even closer interaction. They're just so close to the pro players here. Here's Boxer with his factory going down. And by the way, of course, this was during Boxer's peak of dominance. At this time, he had won, I believe, maybe one of his OSLs, or actually both of his OSL, I think, already, and at least one MSL at this time. So certainly this was back in the day when Boxer was the best player in the world, undoubtedly, and for good reason. Here is the robotics facility going up for Joyo, so Joyo is going to be able to get those shuttles much faster than Boxer will. And we'll see if he decides to do a Reaver harass or to go for some kind of gateway level drop. And Boxer actually going for 2 factories before, and going for an early academy, I feel. That's actually interesting. He just wants to get that scan up, I think. I don't think he'll be making any medic marine. In fact, I'm pretty sure he won't be. I think he just wants that really early scan up so he can get a scout into Joyo's base. That's actually quite clever, because right now all he has a scout with is that floating barracks, and he wants to check if there is a DT drop coming. Certainly a viable option on this map. And I believe that's probably a starport being built here. Yeah, that is a starport being built for Boxer. We'll see if he decides to go for rates or go for dropships. I think, honestly, going for rates is a huge risk, though, on an island map where your opponent is certainly going to be expecting air units, and we'll have a couple of Dragoons, probably. And here is a Dragoon, 2 Dragoons out for Joyo. So Joyo, we'll see if he decides to build a shuttle or just go for observers first. I think he is going to be going for observers first because he has an observatory out. We'll see if he decides to go for a Reaver harass or to just get a couple of shuttles and start ferrying Dragoons into Boxer's base. Boxer also with an armory up. Interesting. So getting a lot of tech buildings up before getting really any fighters, any fighting units. And he's gotten his 2nd gas already. Boxer also landing in the barracks at one of the islands. Oh, and he's going to spot this dropship. Nice work there by Boxer, spotting the shuttle. And it seems that Joyo is actually trying to take the mineral-only expansion here at the right side expansion. Boxer doesn't lift that barracks. It is going to go down. I don't think it will go down though if he lifts it. And by the way, check out the Vilatech account for a dual commentary I did on the OSL semifinals 2 days ago with Diggity. It's luxury versus best in the OSL semifinals. It's a great matchup. Of course, for those of you who've been following my videos, you'll be excited to see what happens in that clash of two great players. So check it out. It's on the Vilatech account. Here comes, I think it's just the first shuttle for Joyo. And right now he's just content on getting an expansion. Boxer actually building some Goliaths to intercept those shuttles, but they're going to be weak if either Reavers or... Well, actually, against a Reaver drop, they actually be okay. But if a lot of Dragoons get dropped, they won't be very strong. But Boxer looks like he's not going to be going for any sort of tanks to defend his base. He's just going to be going for straight for Goliaths, and hence why he's getting his third factory right now, and why he got his armory so early. And now we're seeing, I believe, a dropship being produced for Boxer here. Perhaps thinking about doing a little bit of a Goliath drop on the main base of Joyo. And he's also doing a scan in his base. That's weird. Oh, just for the Observer. Nice work there. Nice snipe there of the Observer by Boxer, seeing the blur and shooting it down. Boxer, by the way, will be playing in a Pro League match this game, I believe against a Terran player. I forgot who, but I certainly will do a cast of it. I think he's... Actually, it's annoying me. I don't remember what team he's playing against, but he's certainly going to be playing in Game 2 of the series, so this time we won't miss it like we missed Flash versus Boxer, unfortunately, because KTF got sweeped. And now we're seeing the expansion going up for Joyo. He's also protecting with some cannons. I think that's a little bit premature, actually, although it might be difficult to get units across, so I don't know. But he's certainly wary of Boxer's dropship play. And Boxer actually has 2 dropships up now, and loaded with 8 Goliaths, I believe. Let's see if he decides to drop at the natural or at the main base of Joyo. And oh, he's going to get spotted though by this Observer, and I don't know if there's enough units though still at this expansion to be able to protect it. Actually, there are 3 cannons and 2 Dragoons. I think that's going to be enough. Boxer spots it and he's not going to be able to do anything about it. I think he's just going to retreat with these dropships. Yeah, he's going to retreat here. And so Boxer taking a little bit of a hit here economically. Well, not a hit, but falling behind a little bit since he hasn't gone for the expansions and he's gone for this early attack first. And so far he's been unable to do anything with this attack. Goliaths alone, of course, are not very strong against Dragoons, especially in equal numbers. They're quite weak, in fact. And right now, Boxer doesn't really have anything to get himself an advantage, like tanks or vultures with mines or something. So Boxer probably will be going for one of these expansions right now. And the only thing he has an advantage on, I guess, is the fact that he has more dropships than Joyo has shuttles. And he might be able to, if he can snipe off one of those shuttles in transit with some Goliaths, that would be huge for him. Third dropship coming up for Boxer, I believe that's loaded with an SCV. And yes, he will be getting that command center now at the mineral-only expansion. And there are those 2 gas expansions are a little bit farther away from your main base, so they're a bit harder to get.